Hello my crafty friends, it's Krista here from Second Chance Creation, and yes, I'm back. Alrighty, we've had a bit of a storm here, still rumbling, so I've had to switch the internet off and everything else, and just in case, you know, electrical storms are not pretty. They do sort of all sorts of things. Just have to excuse me, just putting away my little footstool. Alrighty, new listings. Been to the post office today and I was shocked that the postage has gone up. I think 45 and 50 cents. But I've decided to keep my prices as is. Yeah, it's just not right. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a quick flip through of the Shabby Chic flip book and the papers, and I'll leave the journal to last. That might be a different video because I can only do 30 minutes unless I go live. So we'll do the Shabby Chic first. I've already got the envelope for it, and I've had to put that in there, which of course you won't get the plastic bag. It'll be wrapped up nicely, but for the post office I just... Alrighty, so you'll have to excuse the band-aids on my hands. My dermatitis has flared up again, and I've just got to keep it covered. It's just I just can't get rid of it. So I've shared this on the Facebook group, so, and on my Instagram account, so most of you might have seen the cover of this and what I've done here. This is a like a file divider that you put into the filing cabinet. It's not a file folder, and I just fold it in half so that you get the tab up the top. I've closed it just with a pretty soft satin pink ribbon. It's not attached, you can take it off. I've attached a little eyelet just so that more support for the bulb. Just here, okay, bulb pin, and of course some jewelry, little heart, little organza ribbon, little pretty dainty ribbon. It has this beautiful polka dot organza trim, and it's crocheted on the edges. It came like that, and at first I thought, oh no, it's fraying, but it's not. It's been chained and then stitched on in X amount of spaces to make it really pretty. So I think that was pretty cool. The front is the CD covers, which we all know, and I did coffee dyed and decoupaged it and stamped it a little bit. The idea of making this was to make it use up some of my scraps. It's another way of using up your scraps, or just all the little bits and pieces. So this opens up, but what I've done is I've actually sewn this picture onto cardstock, and then I actually glued it onto this side, so you can't take that out, but you can use the pocket, okay, which is right here, so you can use it, and it has the pink cardstock just in there. So on here I've used a magazine picture, and this is part of an old envelope that was torn, so I just cut it up to actually make it like a little booklet cover, a little piece of applique. And you know how our mums worry coming home late, and this is what this flip book is about. It's a gift for mum, for Mother's Day, for birthday, or just to say I love you. And yes, I wish I knew about all this in my time when my mum was alive. So I just thought I made this sort of from the heart. My mum is not with us anymore, but you know, many of you still have a mum, so you know, it's one of those things that you can you don't need birthdays and special occasions to say that you love her. So here I've got a little envelope note, and you flip it out. Some of these are really old sort of little pictures from a magazine that I got. Beautiful crocheted trim. I think this is hand crocheted because it came off a very old doily. So that just closes like this, okay, and I'll tell you what's in here after. And then you flip it open, I've covered this pocket with lace, and I've popped in one of these old vintage playing cards with a butterfly. You know, you can't have a garden full of flowers without butterflies. And another cute little picture just here. This is vintage wallpaper. Some more of that pretty crochet trim, and also I've used some flat back like stones that are glued on here from my stash. And on this page, this is one of my I had a cardstock that was just like a pale pink, but I used some food colouring and diluted it, and yeah, it came out really in pretty patterns. And then of course I did more decoupage of a napkin. I folded this part over, and it'll have a tuck spot here, and you've got a couple of little tags that you can just pop in here, and another pretty little photo picture just there. This is I fussy cut that out from a fabric, and then you open this up, and there's a reason why I left the spaces here. And you lift this up, and you've got another tuck spot, and you've got some frames. So you might wish to put a frame in here, just glue the 3 sides so you can slip a photo underneath, or you can put it here, and you can put 2 in here. It's your choice. You might have some really cute little photos that you want to put in there to little mementos for your mum. Here's a little tuck spot and a little tag. Okay. Time does fly, doesn't it? And a Tim Holtz paper doll here, and a piece of wedding applique with a flat back pearl. And on this side you have a nice big pocket here, and I've just popped in a little tag, decoupage one of my coffee dyed tags with a pretty little organza ribbon. And this is more like a little flip, so you can put anything in here, okay, lengthways or whatever height you wish. So there's room there, so it's just secured on the bottom. And you've closed this, and you close this, and then on the back you have, oh, what happened to my, okay, I'll have to have a look and see where my, I'm sure I had a paper clip on this. I'll have to have a look where that went. Okay, it might still be in the bag. There was a paper clip on here. Was that in that plastic bag that I just took? No? Okay. This is a 6x6 paper pad, and I took a piece off and I made it into a paper clip with a little bow on it that just goes on here. So I'll have to hunt around for it to see where that went to. Just don't understand where it could have got to. It's got me stuck now. Anyway, now the front here has something different. It's a letter made from an A4 coffee dyed paper, and I just used some of my stamping that had sort of nice writing on it, and just sort of, you know, randomly stamped on there. It means nothing, but I used a couple of old stamps I had, and again this little stamp I've got that was mixed up with some of the writing or script stamps. It's not a postage stamp, so I just inked that little area to get that impression. That was already on here, okay. And on the back it's a actual seer with a rose on it. This was gifted to me. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And what this is, you just unfold it. I got this idea from Laurie, Girl on the Ridge. Thank you, Laurie. And you just open up. Now you can use this even as a letter and fold it up in an envelope if you wish. Because here what I've done is I've put a bit of ephemera in. I got this off Pinterest, and it's a letter to Mum. It says, "Dear Mama," I won't read it all. And on the bottom it says, "With unmeasurable love." So you might want to keep it, you know, for your own journal as part of ephemera. But you know, you can journal on the back too. But you might want to use it. So I'll leave it entirely up to you. and then that just pops in here. So it's really easy how this is folded. You fold it in half first, and then what you do is you just fold the sides into half, and then you fold these over just enough so that they tuck in into the top one. Okay, so it's really easy, and how cool is that? Saves all the measuring and the cutting when you have a normal envelope. I like this idea, and because I don't have a cutting board that cuts the envelopes so precisely, I do everything by hand or just use a recycled one. So this is a really cool way to do it. And that just tucks in here in this little hidden little pocket. Just in there. Okay. So a little bit of cloth, and I wrote on here in my best handwriting, memories with a little ribbon rose. So yeah, so I hope you like this little flip book. It's nothing spectacular. Everybody's made flip books, and but I just thought I'd give it a go. Just like that. And I thought I could get away with cheap postage for this, but I can't, unless I'll try to put it in a different pack. But when I went to the post office this morning, I should have asked for that, so I'll try again to see if I can get cheaper postage, because I don't know why you want to pay $9 to mail this. Is just, yeah, anyway. So next, papers, and this will come into this one, okay, in this one in here, and that just fits, and that's just mailed as documents because it has some papers in it. Bit excited to share those with you. Okay, I have some wallpaper. Now it's a bit of with a twist, you know me, nothing plain about me. Some little strips, some beautiful blue ones. I've had quite a few in my stash, and I think there's a metre of this in here, and this is close to a metre. Even more, I think, but they make great envelopes, and you can collage on them, and you can write on the back of them, which I like. Now the reason I've actually put the paper clippers on there is because with this, now we don't want those wallpapers. With this, you'll get this. Okay, those papers, most of them, this one, this one, this one, this one, are in here. Okay, so if you wanted to make a journal, you have a cover, okay, and it's stitched and glued, and it has cardstock on the back, ready to go. And then you have these to complement if you wanted to make a journal out of it, because these are on the front cover. Okay, so that's that little surprise. And then some extra bits, you know, this will be nice boho or even vintage, just take little snippets out, and plenty of this as well. And some really nice shiny stuff might lend itself to a boho journal, or even a bit of shabby chic, and you can probably, with this one, I used a bit of it and I tried it. What I do is I just finely sand it. I've got bit of sandpaper here, very fine, and then I gesso over it, just parts of it, and then you can stamp it or collage it, and you've got bits of this background coming through. Looks really cool. I wish I'd done a video at the time to show you, but I haven't got that piece with me anymore. And then we have a book with some pages, I should say, with calligraphy, pages of calligraphy. You know, us junk journalists here love all this. This is great to add in a journal, because you can journal on here, and you know, do a collage or something with these, but that's your choice. You know, you can even cut these words out too. You know, reputation, recovered. Yeah, so you know, there's even flourishing. That's a nice word. To flourish is a nice word. Special feature. So these are all you can even cut out if you wish. So you've got a little selection there. That's 3 pages. Then we're going to leave this one last. Then I have some music paper here, 2 pages. Okay, it's come out of a children's book. Very old. I think it was dated, was not that old, dated 1951, I think it was. 1951, I think. But it's very brown. One of my sheets of wax paper, you'll get 2 of those. Okay. This was just normal lunch paper, you know, that you get in a roll. And yeah, and I just waxed it, and no, it doesn't have that lavender smell anymore. Sorry. This is embossed baking paper. Makes great little pockets. This came out of the 1951 book. It had all these weird and wonderful little stories in it, true or false. This one's got big cats and small cats, trained cats, proud cats, howling cats, wild cats, young cats and old cats. So if you're a cat person, this might be just perfect for you. And this came out of the 1951 book. Yeah, it had all these weird and wonderful little quotes and stuff in it. Magic pictures. Yeah, the old bird, Clarence the clown, old giraffe. I had a book for painting, and it had a lot of like stencils pages, and that you cut out, and they're made from, it's like really hard vellum, and this one is a cat. Okay, this came out of an Australian book that I had. I think it was called Yesteryears. This is Newcastle Beach in the very, very early days. This one I think was, it doesn't say, I can't remember that one. This was in WA, in Western Australia, okay, and that was when they were prawning. That was before the prawning started. So yes, pretty cool. Here's a copy of some ledger paper that I've got, and I just photocopied on some ledger paper. There's about 6 pages of dictionary pages. Okay, this one is really thin but very strong. I have made pockets from it as well, but it's great to collage with. This one is a great little book. I only scored that the other day. It's Alpha Phonics, and it cost me 50 cents for beginning readers. But what I like about it is, because it has a lot of big letters, you can actually make up your own sentence. And yes, you know, like, wow, amazing. And then you've got, yeah, I think it's Idaho. This book was produced in Idaho. I thought that was a really cool catch, that one. Really good find, you know. And they're plain on one side and just printed on the other. So what I've done is I've got 3 pages of that in here. Okay. So you can probably make up some sentences with these words to put in a journal. And this is actual sentence that you might, you know, can take some words out of. I always like to keep the last, the good part for last. This is some really old Women's Weekly magazine pages. I've got a little stack that I was fortunate enough to get hold of. Oh, I've had them for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now. And 3 years, probably more than 4. And I want to share it. I mean, you know, you can only use so much. And I wouldn't be able to use it in my lifetime. So I thought I'd share some. And this one is dated 1954. 1954. Okay. And you're getting quite a few pages. Just make sure I don't. They're very fragile, so that's why it's the only time I use plastic is I'll pop them in a plastic sleeve to make sure they don't get water damaged. This one is 1964. That should have been on the beginning. Okay, some patterns, some ads, but you know, even the print is pretty cool. All the other kids have a horse and she doesn't. Oh dear. Okay, this one is 1949. It's the Australian Home Journal, June the 1st, 1949. Some of you ladies in Australia probably have these and probably know about them. Okay, and you're going to get a few pages of that. Look at these, aren't they pretty? And it's all natural brown, of course, because they're all aged. They've aged quite well. Really Aspro jars. Kellogg's Cornflakes, Food Expert. Still 1949, so you're getting quite a few pages. This is all about the film stars. Okay. And now this is 1945, 5th of June. It was my mum's birthday, but not the year. But it's June the 5th, 1945. So you can see how brittle this is, but it's a beautiful, really fine font that they used. Typing font. Okay. I think there's 3 pages of that. Palmolive gives you that schoolgirl complexion all over. Yes, right, okay then, if they insist. Australian wildflower garlands. That'll be nice for a botanical journal. American Beauties, Pond's Cream. Oh yes, my mum used to use Pond's until she got in the 60s and she stopped using it. So yes, beading transfers. So these, of course, go into a sleeve. And I'm being very gentle with them. And they just go in here. Oops. There. Okay. So yeah, so you're going to get quite a bit here, and the postage will be very reasonable on this because it's going to fit into the document envelope. So I hope you like what you've seen so far, and that includes this little booklet. In my next video I'll do a flip through of the beautiful green grunge journal. Well, it's not a full grunge, but it's a bit grungy. The lady with the green dress, the lady in green, it's called the lady in green. So make sure you got your bell on so that you don't miss that one, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.